In this video, we are going to understand some tips to score 90 plus marks in your maths exam. Hello my awesome students, welcome to Akshar Vidyalaya. I am Naina and I make videos related to NCERT solutions for classes 9 to 12th.
So let's start understanding that how to save your time during your maths exam term 2 for the class 10th. And also we will learn that how to prepare for the maths exam in this video also. Okay, so for all these things, how to save the time and how to prepare for the maths exam at the last moment of your exam, first thing is that you should know about the marking scheme of the class 10. What does it mean by marking scheme? Marking scheme means that how much marks of the question will come from each and every chapter. Okay, because it is going to help you that which chapter you have to prepare more and which chapter you can do practice a little bit less. Okay, so your complete syllabus is divided into the 5 parts. The first is the algebra, which is of 10 marks, right? And then geometry is your 9 marks, trigonometry is your 7 marks, and your mensuration is of 6 marks. Similarly, statistics and probability is of 8 marks. So this becomes a total of 40 marks. And you know that 10 marks of internal assessment is given to you, and then total of marks will be equal to 50. Okay, so try to start preparing with the chapter which you feel that it is the easiest one for you, because it gives confidence. When this chapter is easiest for you, then it gives confidence to you that yes, you can solve more and more questions, and that build confidence helps you in solving the typical chapters also. Okay, so try to allocate your time accordingly by yourself, that which you feel that is easier for you and which you feel that it is difficult for you, and try to give more time for that chapters that which are difficult for you only, right? Do not consider your friends or like your any other person which says that solve this chapter first. No, go ahead with your knowledge. That suppose you feel that trigonometry is very easy for you, so try to finish your trigonometry chapter revision within 1 hour or 2 hours during the last moment. And you think that algebra is most difficult, so try to give some more time, some 4 hours or 5 hours to solve the algebra. Okay, so now see some 10 points to manage your time during your exam. Okay, so understand each and every step very carefully, because it is going to help you to save your time during the exam a lot. The very first step is that you know that 20 minutes are given to you in advance before the exam for reading the paper, right? In that time, what you can do, you can go through all the paper and mark it that which one is difficult for you, easy for you, and the medium questions for you, right? So try to start solving your paper with the easier one question first, because as I have told you during the preparation also, try to start your revision with the easier chapter, because it builds confidence. Try to do this thing by yourself and you will see the difference, that it makes a lot of difference, that whenever you will start doing solving with the easier part first, then it will build a confidence within you, and then go ahead with the medium one, and then go ahead at the last with the difficult questions for you. Because what happens if you will start solving the difficult question first, right? You think that this one is difficult for you and you get stuck at some step while solving the difficult question, so it is going to lose your confidence, and you will spend your time to solve that difficult question first, right? Means you are doing a difficult question and there are 5 steps in the difficult question and you are stuck at the 3rd step, right? So you will keep on remembering and keep on trying this 3rd step again and again to solve it, but it is going to waste your time only, right? So if you have solved your easier and medium questions first, then you are having a lot of time left with you, and in that time, without getting panic, you can solve your difficult questions also very easily. Okay, then coming to the second point is that you have to understand the exam format before going to the exam. So how you can understand the exam format? That you have to understand the types of the questions and the difficulty level of the questions, right? And how you can understand these two things? By following the third step. You have to solve at least 2 sample papers before your exam by imagining that in one sitting only, that by imagining that this is your real exam going on. You have to sit alone, right? And you have to solve your at least 2 sample papers before your exam. Give 20 minutes, which is your for the reading exam, and then start your exam after that, right? Do it like your exam only. Okay, next fourth tip is that start with the easier questions first. I have explained to you earlier also. Next, fifth and the most important tip is that draw the diagrams wherever it is necessary. Suppose the question does not ask from you to draw the diagram, but still you have to draw the diagram, like the chapter of surface area and the volume. The question will not ask from you to draw the diagram, but you have to draw the diagram. Because why? It becomes easier for the checker to visualize that how much you know about the question, and it will be easier for him or her to give you the marks with by seeing the diagram only, right? Next is the units. Make it a habit while doing the practice only that you always write down the units while you are writing your final answer, centimeter, meter or rupees. Because for these units, if you are not going to write down the units during your exam, then the checker is going to cut your marks half or the 1 mark during the checking part. Even if your answer is correct, but still your half or the 1 mark will get deducted if the units are not written properly or units are not written. So make it a habit while you are doing the practice, while you are solving your sample papers, or while you are doing the revision from your NCERT book. Make it a practice that you are writing the units in advance. Okay, then write down the round off carefully. Means sometimes in the question it is given to you that round your question to the 4 decimal places. Okay, so your answer is coming as 2.32. so what will be your final answer? Your final answer will be 2.3200, or your answer is coming as like this: 2, 4, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. So do not leave your answer like this. You have to round off your answer up to the 4 decimal places. Means if this 5th digit is greater than or equal to 5, then what you will do? You will increase your last digit by 1. So this is called as the rounding of the decimal up to the 1, 2, 3 and 4 decimal place. So these are the very short things, with very small things which you have to take care. You have to draw the diagrams, you have to write down the units very carefully, and you have to write off your question carefully. Okay, so now cross check the final answer. Once you are doing the exam, you have done the first question. For example, you have done your first question, then give 1 or 2 seconds to just go through your question again and then move on to the second question. Do not spend more time for the cross checking in the running hand. Means once you are solving the question, then do not give the more time to cross check your question. Just give 1 or 2 minutes to check that you have done very carefully, and check that you have written the units, you have done the rounding carefully, and you have drawn the diagram if it is necessary. Okay, because it is going to save your time once you are doing the final checking. And during the final checking, you can skip the questions in which you are more and more confident, right? So you can cross check those answers in which you are less confident. So cross checking the final answer once you are solving the questions helps your times in the final checking. Okay, so next, the 9th part is that keep an eye on the clock. Keep an eye on the clock means that you are suppose you are doing your easier questions first, right, and you are writing each and every detail about this question, and then you are going to the medium question, and you have, oh, the time has gone, you will start writing some less steps, and then you are moving to the difficult question, and for solving the difficult question you are not left with any time, and you will just solve it very fast, and you will get panic, and you will not be able to solve the difficult question. So all these things are going to help you once you will solve the sample paper before going to the exam. That will help you that where you need to invest the time, where you are making the mistakes, so where you have to keep an eye on the clock, how much you have to write for the easier question, medium questions, and the difficult questions. It all depends upon your speed and your knowledge, that how much you know and how much is your speed and how much you have to increase the speed. So that's why I am again and again saying that in the last minute of your exam, try to solve at least 2 sample papers by considering it as your exam. Do not see any answer during that practice from any of your book. Just solve whatever you know, how much you know, and with your speed and with your knowledge. Once you are done with your that sample paper, then cross check it with your answers, and then try to cover those mistakes in your second sample paper, right? Then what you can do, once you are doing the revision, then make a separate notebook for writing down the formulas and the theorems, because during the last day of the exam, last day of your preparation exam, you can revise the formulas and theorems from that notebook only. You do not need to go to each and every chapter to see the formulas, and it is going to save you a lot of time during the preparation. Okay, so some more tips other than these 10 tips, some more tips is that try to solve as much examples as you can solve given in your NCERT book, because most of the questions are coming from your example part, right? Earlier it was the NCERT pattern that 40% of the questions come from the examples only, but now during the COVID period they have made a little bit simpler part, so they will give you 60 to 80% of the questions from the NCERT, from the examples of the NCERT only, right? And try to focus on the NCERT only. Now during these 4-5 days of your preparatory exam, do not follow any other extra book, right? Because the questions and the statement will come from the NCERT only, right? So solve as much as more examples you can solve from the NCERT, right? So now during the preparation, take proper rest, take proper sleep, take proper food, and then study. Do not skip these 2 things, because without these 2 things you will not be able to study properly. Okay, if food is kept ahead of you, then first take a break of 5 to 10 minutes. First take your food properly, wash your hands, and then come back to your seat, and then see, you will have a lot of energy to again study, right? Do not skip your food and your rest during proper sleep during your study time. Okay, next, last and the most important tip which I am going to tell you again and again is that solve CBSE sample papers in the last minute. So CBSE have uploaded 2 sample papers for each and every exam. For each and every exam you should solve that CBSE sample papers. Do not go for any other sample papers, because solving any other sample paper was the time during the 1 month before your starting of the exam, but in the last moment during the 4-5 days of your preparatory holidays, solve the CBSE sample papers only. Okay, so please add your comments in the comment box if you want to know some more tips for the exam, and for some more tips how to solve the questions and how to prepare for the exam. Or if you are having any other tip in your mind, so please add that tip also during your add that tip also in the comment box, which is going to help some other students.
If you find my video useful for you, then please do like, share and subscribe my channel so that you can get more updates of my new videos. So let's meet in the next video in which we are going to solve the sample papers of the CBSE. Till